Hey, this is Walter Van Dusen at the Laowa booth. Be interviewing Steven, and we're going to be showing off the new Parfocal lens. Hey, this is Walter Van Dusen. Zoom out. We're going to be interviewing Laowa. Stay tuned.
It's a full three-piece set. So this builds off of the full-frame Rangers that we launched about a year ago. And so that set was full-frame, started with the 28 to 75, and the 75 to 180. Here at the show in the full-frame set, we're also launching the 16 to 30. But these guys are really, really cool, really compact Parfocal Cinema Zooms. Across the set, we've got the 11 to 18, 17 to 50, and the 50 to 130. That across the set, that gives us more than 11x optical zoom range to work from. So yeah, depending on the systems that you're working for and trying to set up, these guys can fly, run gimbal, super easy, super clean, really good looking set. Individual price point on the Super 35 Rangers is $2,000 a piece, $19.99, or you can get the full set of all three pieces for $5,700. PL EF mount.
You have an EF mount?
Swappable. In the kit, there will be an EF mount. I don't have an EF mount that we can try. I have a PL to E adapter that I can definitely set this up on your kit. Sure.
Only be a good thing to see.
So Parfocal is the idea that you've got a zoom lens that as you rack through the zoom range, the focal point does not shift, right? A traditional photo lens or non-parfocal lens, when you change your zoom range, the focus point is going to shift off of what your subject is. So here we have queued up, I've got my 45 millimeter Proteus lens lined up in my shot, and as I adjust the zoom range, I'm not losing focus at all. I can rack back and forth and keep that specific point in focus the whole way through.
And which lens is this again, please?
This is the Laowa Ranger Super 35 50 to 130.
What do we have it on today?
And then we have this guy on here, the Sony FX30. So great combo, Super 35 sensor, really capable, all kinds of stuff you can do. And it makes a really compact little kit that gives you for like any sort of either run and gun, or you're trying to rig up a small area, you can get these guys right into, and it's a great set.
So there's three of them, right?
Three pieces in the set. So here's the telephoto one, right? Our 50 to 130. We've got the 17 to 50, and then the 11 to 18.
When's the release date?
Release date should be shipping in May.
And you tell us what the T-stops are.
The T-stops are all T29 all the way through the set.
And all the gears exactly like the same location?
All of the gears are matched. Everything's set. Yeah. Like the conceptually designed to just set up and run as you're going. So
who are these directed towards?
Owner operator, hybrid shooters, somebody who's looking for a little bit more of that control, but isn't going to necessarily spend a couple tens of thousands of dollars on a cinema set.
And last time we chit-chatted, you were doing the 2.0 anamorphic lenses.
Yeah.
So, and those are very nichey because it's 2.0.
The 2x squeeze anamorphic, depending on your sensor and stuff.
Yeah.
Where a lot of sensors we've gone to widescreen 16:9 sensors, you're not necessarily going to want to use a 2x squeeze on that, because you end up on a 16:9 sensor, you're at greater than a 3-to-1 aspect ratio on your delivery. So that's wider than most need.
Release, that's sort of exciting, right?
So yeah, so on our 1.5x nanomorphs, right? So those are the really compact anamorphics. Sony has made an announcement that this fall there will be an updated firmware for the FX3 and the FX30 to give us that 1.5D squeeze.
Last time we spoke, you were like,
we set that firmware. You give it. Currently, the camera current firmware gives a 1.33 squeeze D squeeze and a 2x D squeeze. Hopefully, we'll get a few more. Hopefully, we'll get that 1.5 for the Laowa nanomorph. But there's also some other lenses to be able to get a 1.6 or a 1.8. There's lots and lots of anamorphic lenses out there that I think Sony at this point makes sense for them to be able to support.
And just to expand the focusing, I guess they call it focusing throw.
The focus throw.
Talk a little bit about that, about the.
So the focus throw, the range between your closest focus point and your farthest focus point is generally about 270 to 300 degrees on the Ranger lenses. So
Benefit of that.
Precision, right? I had the distance between my 2.2 feet or 5 inches, and I have a decent throw to get out to 3 feet. So I can really finally, really slowly transition that focus to find exactly where my subject is.
So the
and lock it
difference
in.
between these types of cinema lenses and, for example, my normal Sony lenses, what's the difference between how they focus and how these focus?
So one, to your point of the focus throw, is you're either going to have an electronic focus where it's a focus by wire and you're not even directly connected to it. So repeating a focus move over and over again can be difficult on some of those modern lenses, where here I can rack right into, hit my focus point, bring back rack, and lock on the second.
And consistently,
And-
the three lenses,
Yes.
once you get your muscle memory, you can go to all three
You
different
can
lenses.
you can lock through all three, and then also once you lock that focus, rack that zoom still, and you've got a
Repeat
Parfocal
it
setup
all the time.
all the way through.
Just to give
Yes.
product photographers.
Product photography, motion control. The original full frame Ranger set has found a decent home in some motion control systems, robot arms, and now the Super 35, I think, is going to go even further with a lot of the cameras out there. The smaller size.
The camera, Stephen, but these lenses are very exciting for me because I can actually see me using these lenses. The 2.0, I don't know if I would use that.
And for an anamorphic for your setup and what you're trying to do probably doesn't make sense. Could be cool to do.
Very good. Which is why I come to your booth. We can do some cool stuff.
I'm thinking we could do a version 6.11 and rerun everything anamorphic and just try and see how that looks.
But this is the first time that I've been in your booth and I actually can see myself using these lenses. That's why I'm sort of like excited about this.
Yeah, no, the spherical, the Super 35 Rangers for your setup, and then also integrating in the full frame Rangers, because the full frame Rangers are designed and have a similar look to fit in with the
These
Super
also-
35s. These are also Parfocal, absolutely.
Oh.
So the biggest difference between them is this has a full frame coverage. These guys have just the Super 35s.
How close are they? Oh, so this is called is that a Ranger 2?
This is a Ranger full frame. This is a Ranger Super 35.
Can you tell me if there's any differences?
Just the coverage, right?
Oh.
Coverage on like the look and the look and feel and design and overall feeling of the lens is designed to match between the
So
two.
if I have two FX30s and FX6, we can
Full
have.
frame.
Oh, so
Super
we do
35.
have an opportunity to do this.
Oh yeah,
With the,
not in anamorphic.
no, but
In
Baby
spherical.
steps, baby
Yeah.
so is there anything else that we should know about? That's just is like one of the big first shows of the year.
In the anamorphic, we have and are going to be shipping soon the 28 millimeter Proteus. So yeah, so we've got the 28 millimeter on the wide end and now the 100 millimeter on the long end of the Proteus set.
These are new.
These are new, shipping now. They were announced last year, but they're ready and going. And then that just leaves, we've got a 20 millimeter and a 135 millimeter left in the Proteus set to start shipping. And I think those we'll start to see by the end of the year, hopefully.
Just consider the flagship lens.
This is
Every
our
lens is a flagship
full 2x anamorphic, the Proteus lens. So
in the anamorphic world.
in the anamorphic world for us, this is sort of the truer, more traditional anamorphic.
So we have this is called what?
The Proteus.
And then we have Ranger.
We have the Rangers in spherical. We have the nanomorph in our compact anamorphics. Then we can get into macro.
So we have a good range of
We
wide range.
continuing to grow. Yes.
So if there's somebody new in video, they can get it. What would be the entry level lenses that they can get their feet wet?
I would say, like, if you want to start and mess around with anamorphics, the nanomorphs are a great way to get into that anamorphic concept, get into figuring out how do you work with a de-squeeze, how do you set up and get a nice sharp focus.
So you can look on those lenses.
You can learn on those lenses and still get some really great looks. I've got a lot of DPs out there that do use those for their everyday purpose and for the regular stuff. So it's fully capable, but relatively inexpensive on those. Each lens is about $1,000 relative to much bigger investment here. Yeah, and that's certainly not cheap, all things relative, but relative to something like this, we can get into the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 lenses, and that's a little crazy.
So if you like the look that these lenses provide, you have room to grow as you grow, mature, and get more.
Yeah, a lot of cinema is about defining and building your own look.
Yes.
Right? It's not the photo world, right? If you're getting into cinema and video, coming from the photo world has been on a mission in optics for perfection, right? Minimize distortion, perfect sharpness, perfect clarity, everything all the way through. Neutral, yeah, like trying to create what we see.
Yes.
The cinema world, it's much different in that you're trying to create a look, and the science comes much more from being able to push through and define that look across all different focal lengths, all different shot types, to have a consistency to your story.
And you could start here and you can grow here. So
yeah.
Is there anything else that's exciting? Are we
anamorphic zoom, all kinds of stuff exciting, ultra macro, that we've got the Probe 2s here set up. So all kinds of different setups.
Why should somebody come to a trade show? Besides touching and feeling.
Touching and feeling and the stuff that you don't necessarily get to see. Certainly, right, Walter, you've done a really cool job of building a rig that we can see all different aspects and see the show, get the experience, but there still is the stuff that, all right, what's just off camera here that we don't get to see?
How heavy is
what are the different things that intriguing and the stuff that it's the stuff that you don't know that you're looking for. If you already know, all right, I need something like this, you can generally define and look for a specific product. But when you're walking the floor, you get to see stuff that you didn't even know existed, didn't even know was possible.
And you get to meet people. So the theme of the channel, as you know, is I bring the trade show as close as I can, but I will let you guys know that you should come to trade shows.
As the concept of broadcast has changed, the NAB show has shifted and changed, and much more about content creation and video production across the board.
YouTubers, right? Like there's YouTubers walking around getting into autographs and pictures.
Oh, there are plenty of influencers around, plenty of other but because they're here to get to see stuff and get their hands on stuff that you wouldn't necessarily get to otherwise. The equipment and the people and companies that you see exhibiting here cross the spectrum, usually with some tie back into broadcast or video content creation, but really, really wide range. And that's just it, getting to see stuff that you would never know exists otherwise.
So thank you very much for your time, and we're looking forward to seeing you at your next show. What's your next show?
Walter, I'll see you out in LA for Cinegear.
Boom, boom. So thank you very much, and I'll do a who did that? Casey Neistat used to go, and we're out of here. There we go.
Cool.